Well, you tried it last week, Benji. So let's get our guest on now and have a chat about the man who has just taken La Rochelle to their first ever European Cup final, but is off to Clermont next season. Jono Gibbes is the man of the moment, and a man who knows him very well is your old Clermont and France teammate, Damien Chouly. How are you, Damien?
I'm very good. How are you?
We're well. And we were just chatting about La Rochelle's win over Leinster at the weekend. So did you watch it? What did you make of it? And were you surprised how sort of physically dominant they were?
Oh yeah, I did watch it, and I was surprised. I was surprised by the fact they were very consistent for 80 minutes, and knowing Leinster, I would have thought they would have won the second half, and that was not the case. So yeah, it was a very good win for La Rochelle.
And we mentioned, Jono Gibbes very well, and Benji does as well. So he'll chip in a minute, but give us an insight into what he's like as a coach, what he's like as a bloke, what he's like to play for.
I think he's probably one of the best coach I had, like in terms of the set piece, the lineouts and the details, very detail oriented. And clearly you can see the work he has made with La Rochelle. They are very strong, very well organized, and they probably built the Leinster on one of their strengths. So Jono, definitely a good technician. As a bloke, like also very like a man of few words, but very straight to the point. And a good bloke. When it's time to go get a beer, he's always the first. So you can ask Ben also.
Are you surprised that he's decided to leave La Rochelle and go back to Clermont?
Not really, because I think he left Clermont, but he probably liked his time in Clermont and probably wanted more than just like being a forward coach. And this is why probably he left Clermont. And now he had the opportunity to come back and be the top guy, like the man in charge. So I'm not surprised. And also I think this is probably the best choice for Clermont as well.
Did he give you a call to come in his luggages?
No. I have still one more year to play.
You're thinking of coaching at Perpignan after your playing career, no? That's sort of the plan behind it.
This is one option. This is not the plan, because my optional year was like either to be like maybe in a staff or to keep playing. So I will keep playing for one more year, and then after we will see how it goes. It's very very hard to see more than 1 year ahead.
Benji told us last week that he turned down the top job above Jono Gibbes at Clermont. So when he's in that position, he'll give you a call and call you up, Damien.
I'll give you a call back, mate. As long as I get most of the money, then you're more than welcome to come. No issue.
Just give us an insight as well. Obviously, you and Benji both know Franck Azema very well as well. So what are the kind of differences between Franck and Jono?
Franck is more like human oriented. Like more, as we used to say, like the French, or more the Latin way, I guess. Like in comparison to the detail and the structure, like just the focus is different. I'm not saying that Franck is not like that, but like it's more like a talker maybe, and just get closer to the players easier.
To be honest, I thought they had a fantastic partnership. So it's funny because Lachul can tell you Vern Cotter was an absolutely hugely influential guy at Clermont, changed the whole culture, bit of a dictator. He was a proper tough man, but he really changed everything. And he signed me, he signed Chouly, and he was the absolute boss in Clermont. And then the day that he announced he was going to leave, it was an earthquake. It was that was all the press was talking about, and obviously the boys were talking about, and we just didn't know who was going to do what. And I remember the president putting everybody in the room, and I was like, right, so the next coach of Clermont is going to be, and then it was like Franck Azema. Oh, right, we never really saw that one coming. It's just okay, so he's going to be boss man now, but he's also coming with a forwards coach who is Jono Gibbes. To be honest, I think there was about 95% of the guys in the room who didn't know who Jono Gibbes was. They didn't have a clue. But I don't know who is behind that signing, but I think it was a particularly smart combination of, like Chouly said, the human side of Franck. Franck is a hard worker, but he bases everything on emotion. Probably a bit more the French way of doing it. He needs to care, he needs to love, he needs to be genuine, honest, and upfront with his players to create that passion. And Jono has just got that Kiwi eye that is just always looking for detail, constantly asking you questions. Like he would sit with Chouly and be like, right, so in the line out, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. Or what are you going to do? And Chouly would tell him, well, usually we do this, we do that. And he's like, why? And he's constantly asking you to, but it's not so much for him to get the question, it's to challenge you, to challenge yourself constantly to actually understand what you're doing. And so that different eye was always brilliant. I always tell that same story. Chouly, remember the one where he gave us that video with all the kickoffs? And he was like, you see Camille Lopez, raise the ball, kick it, but you didn't see, he would press pause before you could tell where the ball was going. And you would turn around like, Chouly, where's that ball going? So, well, we don't know. All right, next one. And he just did that 15, 16 times. And we're like, Jono, I don't know, what's your point? And he's like, well, before every kickoff, the ref asks the kicker, which side are you kicking so that he doesn't go in his way? So surely, look at where the ref is. The ball normally, most of the time, goes on the opposite direction. And that's already a massive help, for the players when you're trying to always predict what's going to happen on the field. And it's true that I was 32 at the time or whatever. I thought I'd seen it all. And then this guy rocks up and he's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty smart, really. It's something that's just there for us. And that was Jono Gibbes. He would constantly ask you to challenge yourself. Why this foot first? Why this hand first? Why are you doing this? To actually give you knowledge and power.
People might have heard a phone there, Benji. Was that Jono increasing the offer for next season?
Give me $1 million, mate. It's not going to work.
$1 million francs. You've got it. I was going to say, do you reckon that signing came from Joe Schmidt?
I have no idea, Chouly. I don't know if you know, but it's a good point. It might have been. Joe has always been staying very close with the club of Clermont. Yeah.
Probably like Joe and Neil.
And you've mentioned already, Damien, that Jono likes to drink. And Benji's told us a couple of stories already. I'm sure he'll come in. But any particular good memories of Jono? Maybe title celebrations in 2017 at Clermont, or any others that stand out?
Not necessarily in 2017. But no, I think I remember a camp we had in Benidorm in Spain.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Started well.
And so of course we went to a bar, and then we're probably like I don't know, not even many people, maybe six of us, and Jono ordered like 7 pints, and I say why, and then he gives all the drinks and keeps 2 for himself because because this is what I do, like 2 sips one, 2 sips the other, and then that's it. And
yeah, he'll chop one and then he starts drinking. Basically, that's his thing.
Was Benji there on that night in Benidorm?
I was, mate. I was. Nah, it's listen, we're not going to go into the details of what happens and stuff.
Some of us can handle
better.
Does it incriminate you? Did you do something in Benidorm, Benji?
Because Chouly basically is always there at the end, so he's got an encyclopedia on everyone. You know the Wikipedia of going out? Well, that's Damien Chouly, because he's usually he's the one brushing the broom of the nightclubs at the end, making sure everybody's going back and this and that. And normally he never gets in trouble. So basically, everything's okay. But it's just one of those experiences when you realize that professional rugby is tough, but rugby is rugby. And rugby is about boys loving each other, wanting to have a go at everything. And so when you go down to Spain for a training camp that obviously is a piss up for 3 days, that's the cement of a team. And look, the Babas have done it for 25 years or whatever, or even a lot more than that, actually, 50 years. And it's the secret recipe for any team to rebond, reboot, and go again. Some social drinking time with drink responsibly, of course, but it is the cement of a team.
So are we just to clear this up, are we saying that Damien is the Joe Takori of Clermont? Is that what we're saying?
Exactly.
Come on.
But to be fair, Joe drinks a lot more than Chouly. Yeah. That one is he's a bamboo, mate. He'll never move.
We're still playing, so yeah.
That's the key. I was going to ask you what the key to your longevity is, Damien. Clearly, it's good nights out and being good on that side of things.
Yeah, I think it's good, but honestly, I think it's good balance between hard training and enjoying like also the teammates and the sides, you know, like if I, as Ben say, like I'm always keen for a beer or to have fun with the guys, but if I was just like going to training and come back home and focus 100%, I would probably not been playing anymore. So.
And we've had some of Benji's teammates on here before, and he always gets off really lightly. Everyone says, "Oh, good bloke, really. Oh, Benji's such a legend." Never gives us any story. So come on, there must be something. There must be some dirt on Benjamin Kaiser from your folder of nights out.
As long as he doesn't get the folder out, we're good. That's good. I think there's a whole chapter in it. There's a whole section of it.
I don't know. Should I mention the video I sent you the other day? You know, in
Which
Toulouse.
One?
In Toulouse.
Oh la vache. Oh, no, that's all right. That's a slip up. That's a slip up. A proper slip up.
Maybe both of you can tell it together. That way we get both sides of the story, eh, Benji?
Nah, I mean, I can tell you what I remember of it, and obviously he'll have a completely different story to it.
No, I don't want to hear your version, Benji.
We had very not particularly unsimilar nights, basically. But to sum it up, we won in Agen on a Thursday, and all the French team boys, before we got on camp to go rejoin the French team the next day, slept in Toulouse for recovery, and then flew the Friday morning up in camp. Obviously, a dinner completely slipped out of our hands. A dinner that was meant to be a quick, something to eat, finished up in a massive piss up with the Toulouse boys. And it was like a kamikaze attack, basically, of that restaurant. And it ended up absolutely sideways. But La Choule took me home. And in the end, there was some funny time. But the video that he's mentioning is that, that you have some crazy memories of some crazy nights. And there's guys, it was in William Servat's, the hooker and the French team coach. It was in his restaurant, and he had mates from Le Gers or something. They were playing, how do you call the accordion? You know that
accordion,
and they were playing that, but they were playing AC/DC, Highway to Hell with an accordion or something. So it was just one of those crazy moments and stuff. But La Choule took care of me, and then we got home. And then if you want to add anything, fine, but you'll lose a mate. So just go on.
Yeah, and then he ended up in the flowers by the other.
Nice.
eating the flowers.
And you mentioned this was in Toulouse. Was Joe Takori there as well or not?
No,
he wasn't.
There we go.
We were lucky that he was not here.
Could have been worse, Benji.
We would have never made it. I would have never made it the next day. But to be honest, I mean, the next day was a little bit less funny. I was still pissed. Got into the plane with the forwards coach of the French team. I haven't made the French team for 5 years. It was my big comeback, and I rock up and my eyes are looking sideways. and I was, when you're on a high the next morning and stuff, and La Choule is I'm just speaking, and La Choule comes next to me. He's like, shut up, stop speaking. We can sort of smell you a mile away. Just keep your mouth shut and sit on that bus or whatever. But in the end, we got bollocked, and we got told on a Sunday there was a full-on opposition, 15 on 15. If you guys don't kill it, you're gonna pack up your bags and go. And to be fair, all the Clermont boys fronted up, and we killed it, and then we stayed on.
We did a French citizenship test with Johnny and Benji a couple of weeks ago, and Johnny won. I mean, Benji's an adopted Englishman now. So what do you make of him moving over here and becoming English, basically?
I think he's always been in English, but
citizen of the world. Said from Damien Chouly, who's probably the most traveled Frenchman you can find, who's married, whose life partner is American. I'll take that as a compliment. Being not particularly French from him means, or not normally your usual French. That's pretty normal.
So does this mean you're moving to America when you did that?
I don't know. Honestly, we don't know right now.
Needs to speak to Jono first. You're moving back to Clermont, mate. You're going to become the forwards coach. Let's be honest. If you called the line out, he doesn't speak any French. You speak English. He needs a forwards coach. Simple decision.
I know he speaks good French now, right now. But yeah, no, let's see. No, honestly, I don't know. Like my girlfriend is happy in France. She doesn't see herself moving back to US right now. So let's see how it goes.
Excellent. That's it. Well, it's been great to have you on, Damien, and we look forward to the dream team, you, Benji, Jono Gibbes, all getting back together in Clermont soon.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the year, mate, and in the quarters and semis. Good luck with Perpignan, and hopefully we'll see you back in the top 14.
Yeah, thank you for it.
Cheers, mate.
Father.